All right, boss mode should be here any second. Winner! And then it should stop. All right, and that's the game. All right, I'll be showing you a little walkthrough on how I built it in a second. All right, everybody, here we are. We're back. Don't get too intimidated by this code. This is probably the most complex of all of it. So let me show you a little bit about how I built this. Let's start with our ship on the bottom there. So first of all, these screens here, I actually generated these in ChatGPT as well as the ships. I asked it to generate Space Invaders vintage arcade type backgrounds in landscape mode and got a few different options. There's 2 different backgrounds, by the way, that I had it make. And then I also had it make this ship as well as, let me show you the other sprites. Oh, now back to here, as well as the other sprites. So I've got, that's the good guy ship. That's a laser beam. That's a laser button. Then we've got one of the bad guy ships, the boss mode ship, level 2 spaceship, the super laser, and the super laser button. So let's start at the beginning here. So my main ship here, I've got 2 different codes that are going to run. So when we start the game, we have it say Space Invaders for 2 seconds, play the arcade theme, and then say level 1 for 2 seconds. And we also are going to set our background back to this original background, set our score visibility to off, and set the score variable to 0. So it goes back to 0 whenever we start. And we're just going to have the left and right tilt function so that when we hit play, we can tilt our iPad back and forth to make our ship move back and forth. Now let's talk a little bit about the laser and the laser button. Let's go to the button first. So this I just drew and literally is just a yellow circle with a green sort of laser beam on the inside. And the only command in here is when I tap this, send the laser command. All right, so whenever you tap this button, you're going to send a message over to the laser. So let's go to laser. A few different things going on here. So when we start the game, we're going to hide the laser because we don't want the beam to appear until we actually launch it. It's actually behind the ship right now. When we receive the laser command, we hide it again, and then we're going to have it go to the sprite's location. So it shoots right here, hides it, and then it shows itself from behind the sprite. So it looks like it's coming out of the ship. And then we play the sound and we move it about 150 pixels up, or whatever you want to call those. So it goes to about the top of the screen. It goes there very quickly, and then it hides itself. So this gives it an appearance, see that, of moving up the screen. If you do it really fast, it will disappear sooner, and that's totally fine. Doesn't seem to cause any issues. If something's close to you, you can shoot it multiple times. And then we also have when the laser touches each ship to change the score variable by 1. So that's the laser. All right, let's go on to the first enemy ship, which is this one here. So on our first enemy ship, we've got a few things going on here. We have a game over command when it touches the bottom edge. We have a game over command when it touches our other ship. And then we have when it gets hit by the regular laser beam to hide itself, so it looks like it is getting shot down. And when it gets hit by the super laser beam to hide itself as well. And then for the ship command, when we hit play, we're going to hide the ship from view. And then we have a random wait variable before we go to this forever loop code of 3 to 6. This doesn't necessarily need to be random right here. It could be a fixed number, but you have to have this number be greater than, let me go back to this command, it has to be greater than 4 because you don't want the ship to appear until after it goes through the intro sequence. All right, so back to the ship. And then we're going to have a forever loop where we send the ship to a random location along the top. And then we're going to show it. And then it's going to move down 180, so all the way to the bottom. So it can touch the bottom line because remember, it touches the bottom of your screen, your game is over. And then we're going to hide it. And we are going to wait between 0.1 and 0.5 seconds for it to come back up and reappear again. So it comes to the bottom, it touches. If you shoot it up here, it will hide, but it will continually move down while hidden, won't affect the game, and then appear back here. So the sooner you shoot it up here, the longer it takes to come down and go back up. Okay, so that's why when it's easy, they happen rather slowly. Okay, so that is the ship. Now let's move on to the second ship. So the second ship is only a level 2 ship. So very similar code here for the rest of it. Game over when you touch the edge, game over when you touch the other player, hide when you get shot, and then hide at the beginning. And then here we have a level 2 command. When level 2 is received, this is a trigger to send this ship back out. So then you have 2 ships in play when you get to level 2. Same thing, wait 2 to 6. And I added this variable here so that the ships can get staggered so they likely don't come at the same time. And then similar commands, appear in a random location, show yourself, move down, and then wait again. So very similar to the other ship minus the level 2 command. All right, let's talk about the boss mode. There's a lot going on in this mode. And this is also where we placed a lot of the level commands. So let's start at the top here. When the boss ship touches the bottom, game is over. When it touches you, game is over. Oh, I forgot a stop all there. Let's add that there. Okay. And then we have a few other things going on here. So I want to point out, let's do the movement. So when boss is received, so you get the boss command when a score reaches 10. We'll talk about that. So this is the boss mode ship's movement. So it goes to the middle of the top of the screen, shows itself, and it's going to move down 50. And then I had it wait 1 second, move down another 50, wait a second, and then move down 80. Because you do have to shoot it multiple times, so this makes it a little bit easier to kill the boss. Boss 2 is just the same thing, but relevant to the boss coming at the end of level 2. So we'll talk about how we get to that. Okay, so when we hit play, the boss will hide itself and then go into a forever loop. And this is where the game is going to look for a score of 10. So the boss ship is hidden until we reach score equals 10. Then we send the boss command over here so it knows to start coming down. And we wait 5 seconds. And this wait 5 is important because you don't want it to get stuck in a continuous loop looking for the number 10. So if you don't put this wait command in, if you don't shoot another ship down, it will still be number 10 and the boss ship will sort of like glitch and like reappear. So we need this delay. So by the time this 5 seconds expires, we're at probably 11 points and it's irrelevant. We also have down here when the play button's hit, hide, same sort of thing, but we're going to make this score 25. So this is for level 2 boss command. So when you see the boss ship come in level 2, same sort of thing, but it sends boss 2. Boss 2 is the same ship just coming down again for level 2. Over here, we also have when we hit the play button, forever, we're looking for a score of 15. So at 15 points, this is when we send our game to level 2. So we hide the ship. We've defeated it, and we get to 15 points, so shooting it 5 times. And then we send the level 2 command out, and we change our backdrop to level 2, put the text up for level 2 for 4 seconds. Inside here, we also have the same command that we're looking for 35 points. So it's going to find when it gets 35 points, that's when it hides, shows the winner sequence, and stops the game. You could repeat this for level 3, level 4. It's just going to get more and more complicated with each level. Okay, it's almost all of it. Let's move on to the super laser. So this is probably not something I'm going to do with students, but I wanted to show you kind of how I got to this super laser idea. So at first I wanted like a big explosion to like kill everything on the screen, but it seemed a little complicated. So the super laser is kind of this laser that just like bounces around randomly. And here's how we got to that. So we had when the super laser touches, obviously you get a point because it's still going to kill the ships. Actually this should be the other ship right there. Okay. When it touches one of these ships, you get a point, changes the score by 1. When you start the game, it is hidden. And I want the super laser to appear about every 10 to 15 seconds, but not too early in the game. So when we hit play, we got a 10-second delay, and then we go into this forever loop where we wait 10 to 15 seconds, and then we send the show super command. We wait 10 seconds, and then we hide it. Okay, so basically once the button appears, you have approximately 10 to 20 seconds to hit the button and have the laser do its work. If you don't, it will disappear again and you'll miss your opportunity. When the super laser command is received, and this is a little bit confusing, this comes from the button. So let me hit the button here. So on the button for the super laser, which you can't see because it's hidden right now. So when you get the command that says show super, then you're going to show the button and wait 5 seconds and the button disappears. So when that button appears, you have 5 seconds. Hides at the beginning. If you tap the button while it's visible, then it sends super laser command. And super laser command comes over here. So when you get that super laser command, it is going to send this to the sprite. It's going to hide it and then move it to behind your ship. So it looks like it's coming out of your ship. It's going to play the space sound like you shot the laser. And then for 15 times, assuming you don't hit this time variable before then, but for 15 times, it is going to go to random locations, like kind of about the screen, and bounce around until it's either done with this loop or it runs out of time and hides itself again. So if you see that super laser button, you should press it pretty soon after it appears. Otherwise, you're going to miss your opportunity. And whew, I think that is it, everybody. But that is Space Invaders on OctoStudio. Hey everybody, we're here with OctoStudio again, and I'm going to do a tutorial on how I made this Space Invaders game. We're going to build this with some second graders. This is how the game's played out. Let me hit the start button. So you tilt to have your ship go back and forth. You hit this little button to shoot your laser beams. Now what you don't see is when I get 10 ships, it goes to the boss mode, or 10 points. Killing each ship gets you a point. And then boss mode is like a Death Star. These come a little bit slow. Oh, that's my super laser. Let me hit it. See that? Oh, pretty cool. That's an added feature. I don't know that I'm going to do that with the younger kids. That goes for about 10 seconds and then goes away. And it comes back about every 15 to 20 seconds. It regenerates. If one of the ships touches you, or if one of the ships hits the bottom of the screen, oh, super laser, then the game is over. So you just got to make sure you shoot everything before it gets to the bottom of the screen. All right, should be almost at boss mode. Come on. Probably is a little bit too easy at first, but I add a second ship on level 2. So where is the boss? Okay. Go. Oh, there it is. All right, so I got to hit this about 5 times. There we go, level 2. All right, so level 2 has twice as many ships. So notice one has a red dot on it. That's how I differentiated it from copying it. I'll show you that in a minute. And then, so they come twice as often. And then, oh, super laser. Okay. Okay. And all right, boss mode should be here any second. Winner! And then it should stop.